Hey there everyone, happy Sunday. I am King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Another really nice day, and this week spring is going to flex its muscle. We're going to see a lot of 60s, good amount of sunshine, some cloudier days, yeah, here and there, and then also by the end of the next 7-day period, we're talking about the end of this upcoming weekend, we could see some showers just in time for Easter holiday. We'll talk about those chances, and also we'll get a look into the temperatures that are expected to fall at that point as well. But this is going to really explain it all. I wanted to show you this right here, and this is the upper air weather pattern that's going to take shape. And where you see more of the oranges, that's where we have ridging going on, meaning ridging brings in high pressure. High pressure often means that we see fewer clouds, more sunshine, and milder and warmer air. And that's what we have overhead here for today and heading on into a good chunk of the day for tomorrow. But check out what happens heading into Tuesday. You can start to see that color not quite as vibrant. That orange a little lighter, and even seeing some yellows beginning to sneak their way in here across more of the state of Washington. And then you'll see more of this really to come even as we head on into Wednesday. As you can see, more of that yellow beginning to pour on in. Eastern side of the state, not only are they seeing yellows, they're seeing some green sort of hints in there as well, and that's where we could see some shower chances as we go later on into the middle part of the week. We're going to stay dry on this side of the state. Moisture just not going to be readily available for that, and then we get this ridge of high pressure to build right back in heading into Thursday and Friday, which will really bring in a warmer air mass. And then we continue on to Saturday, the weekend. That's when we start to cool things back down, and check out this big dip of the jet stream. And this is where we have a trough, and a trough is going to bring in cooler weather, cloudier weather, and also some wetter weather here across the area. And so you see a lot more of those areas of green showing up, indicating where we have some troughiness happening. So get ready for it. It's going to turn a bit cooler, but we got a lot of time before that point, and all this is going to be pretty evident when I show you the 7-day forecast. Did want to give you some headlines first. We're going to be even warmer heading into the day tomorrow. We do have that slight cool down coming in with that midweek system before another warm up as we go late into the week. Forecast today was really nice. We saw highs in the upper 50s to low 60s, 61 in Seattle, 58 in Bellingham, 59 in Friday Harbor. If you weren't at 60 today, you were really close, and that was up by about 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees from where we were at yesterday here across this side of the state. The eastern side of the state, Leavenworth, Wenatchee, actually got up by about 6 to 8 degrees there. Stevens Pass, the mountains really been the big winners there as they saw the majority of the warm up. All right, into the day tomorrow, high temperatures in the mid 60s. We're going to have some high passing clouds, more of a filtered look to your sunshine, very thin cloud coverage, and then thicker cloud coverage with a couple of bands that you're going to see with a couple of features moving through for Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing the cool down, and then our numbers starting to bounce back up late into the week. Good chance of 70 maybe by the time we roll through on Friday. Here's our SchoolNet site in Granite Falls. It's quiet, it's beautiful looking there, clear skies. A lot of clear skies out this way towards Bellingham too, but the farther north you are, the earlier you're going to see this higher upper level cloud coverage beginning to move on in, and we're starting to see it there. And down this way, some of that in place here in Tacoma, but the skies are much bluer. You can kind of tell looking at it. Always a gorgeous shot of Mount Rainier. Westport, same for us down this way too, and then looking here in Seattle, we see the clouds off to the north that will be making their way in. We're currently sitting at 58 degrees and kind of breezy, and if you were out early this morning, you kind of felt that chill to the air, kind of almost had an autumn-like feel before things did start to warm up this afternoon, just without as many of the leaves falling off of the trees. All right, forecast as we head on into the evening, we'll call for those temperatures to continue to drop here as we head on into the night. So we're going to be back in the mid to lower 40s, a little warmer than last night, but all in all, still going to be a rather cool start as we head on into the start of our Monday and for our work week. All right, here's radar, and you can see little, if anything, happening here across the state and across a lot of the west coast. Active weather off to our east across Montana and heading into the Dakotas. Also seeing high pressure and control for us, meaning that is going to keep things quite a bit cooler. And then we have that system right there that we were talking about. That's going to help to bring in some extra cloud coverage as we head on into the day for tomorrow. But the majority of the action heading up farther to the north here into British Columbia, where you're going to see a lot more of that moisture taking shape. All right, so for us, kind of putting it into motion for you on Futurecast, you can see all of this continues to sweep its way on through. We see that upper level cloud coverage begin to move in, which is going to stick with us as we head into the start of Monday, and really for a lot of the day too. Milky colors showing upper level clouds, thin cloud coverage, again, a lot of sunshine still piercing through here down to the surface. And we head into tomorrow evening, and some of that starts to disappear. We'll keep a good amount of it farther north, but there's that first wave of clouds that's going to push on through. Again, a couple couple of disturbances, pretty weak ones for us, that are going to push on by with cloud coverage. Number one is going to be, it looks like, more midday heading into Tuesday. There it is right there. You can see that front pushing on by. That's going to head on off towards the east. We get that to move on out of here. Tuesday night into early Wednesday, there's another band. You can see that one just pushing on by. And then behind that, there is a reinforcing dose of some cooler air. Still highs around 60, but not going to be quite as warm as what we were expecting heading into Monday. That's ahead for us heading into Wednesday before we do see that air mass begin to modify again towards the end of the week. And modify we will do, because after bottoming out around 60 degrees on Wednesday for a high this work week, we get right back up to 64 on Thursday, and we'll see highs near 70 degrees on Friday with the normal high at 58 degrees. So we're going to be quite a bit above that. And then here we go into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, you can start to see things cooling back down. That was that trough I was telling you about before. That helps to bring in the cooler air mass, especially on Sunday for Easter. Highs back down into the 50s. Also seeing some showers in the forecast at that point too. So for the time being, definitely not set in stone, but kind of keep that in the back of your head if you have any outdoor plans. I know Easter egg hunt and going to church, just keep it in mind. Here's your forecast into the night. We're going to drop down into the upper 30s and the lower 40s. Mid-40s farther north there, Bellingham and Friday Harbor. Check out the forecast tomorrow. Top off at 63 in Blaine, 60 in Friday Harbor, mid-60s around Mount Vernon. We'll be at 66 at Lake Kavanaugh. Could be a few 70s out there. Can't say that we're completely ruling them out, but if you are going to see them, they're going to be east side here, and more so the foothill communities. Oso getting up to 70, 71 possibly in Gold Bar, 68 in Monroe, getting really close there. Closer you get to the water, more low to mid 60s, and really some of our island communities there, Camano and Whidbey Island, just barely getting to 60 and maybe just staying just shy of there. Again, some of our foothill communities getting up close to that 70-degree mark. Issaquah, Maple Valley, Enumclaw, Auburn, all in the 70s for tomorrow. 68 in Renton, will be at 64 in Bainbridge Island, 64 in Paulsville. Kingston, you'll get up to 64 tomorrow, 66 for Seattle. Des Moines up to 66, and then upper 60s and lower 70s down this way across more of South Sound. Puyallup 71, 71 in Olympia. Yelm up to 71. Southwest Interior getting closer there through the Chehalis Valley down to the Oregon state line. 70s there out towards the coast, expecting to see more 60s, and then seeing 60s and 50s across the Olympic Peninsula. All right, forecast was always going to be on here on King 5 Plus, so make sure to download that app. You can download it for free on your smart TV. You can also see it here on YouTube as you're doing right now if you're watching us here. Here's your 7-day forecast. Highs will stay in the 60s here throughout the week. Again, we do have that brief cool down heading into Tuesday and Wednesday, back down into the low to mid 60s before our numbers do crank back up near the 70-degree mark on Friday, and then cool back down heading into the upcoming Easter weekend. All right, looks like a pretty good forecast here ahead for the week, so try to get out and enjoy it if you can, everyone, and have a great Sunday evening. We'll talk to you soon.